Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Some early fireworks on the first play from scrimmage.
The last fireworks I saw, July 4th, okay? Here they are celebrating the start of this game the exact same way. Explosive right out of the gate.
He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the Buccaneers are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. And that last throw, Charles, is going to move him past 32,942 yards passing for his career, and that surpasses the total of the Hall of Famer and a colleague of both of ours, Troy Aikman.
Yeah, played from 1989 to 2000, and Troy Aikman, he was about winning. Because remember, he had Michael Irvin.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. DJ Chark, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Buccaneers will jump on top of the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. The Bucs and Saints expected to possibly be the 2 to slug it out for the NFC South title in 2022. The Saints have had the Bucs number pretty much since the arrival of Tom Brady, at least in the regular season. They're 4-0 against Tampa Bay the last 2 seasons in the regular season. But remember, when Tampa won the Super Bowl, they did defeat New Orleans en route to that title. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Well, this defense for the Buccaneers, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield.
First 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
At their own 3-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, he's got a man complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they score in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
Do you think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
15-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all three phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick six.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Wilson getting right back to it after the pick six. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick six, and here he ends up on his backside.
Yeah, and you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick six, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. So going for Jefferson downfield. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jamel Dean. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Boy, this defense is circling early. A pick six there, and they are off to the races here this first quarter.
And, partner, when you get off to a first quarter lead like this, it really frees you up defensively to take some chances, really apply some heat. And that was just a tremendous play to pick that ball off and bring it back for a score.
So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And he elects not to bring this one out as his guys will take over at the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jamel Dean. And the Buccaneers are going to take possession of the football. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Open man right side is Sharp. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 2 touchdowns for him already in this first half. This one good for a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a 1,000-yard rusher a season ago, Antonio Gibson with it. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports.
28, Saints nothing.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down.
We're going. Let's go.
To throw, Cousins. They try to find Sharp, but it's intercepted. And the Saints are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. A big play there on the catch and run. 62 yards. Well, like so many wide receivers, he is a threat with the ball in his hands, and he's able to do his damage here after the catch.
Yeah, and that was sheer determination right there. He decided before the play, if there was a sliver, he was going to take advantage of it. Looked the ball in, turned on the jets, and took it all the way.
Sanders is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
From back at the 4, here's second and goal.
Tempo.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
Another shot to at least get on the board here. This is third and goal. Throwing is Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Sam Martin is set to kick off.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
And still in the first half here, a long way to go. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. On play action, Cousins. And his throw is incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing, Cousins. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. That gain on third down, good for 28.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll throw again. Cousins. A throw left side, hauled in by Hamler. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Second and 7. Now an end around as Cousins will just pop this forward. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. Cousins again. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 23. How about 25 yards on third down? They'll take it.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Cousins on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with first and goal.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. Cousins going to bat it forward here on the jet sweep. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.